as we were about to talk about this basketball season that has been obviously a major disappointment. I think when Michigan was picked ninth in the preseason, I thought that was disrespectful.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way Michigan finishes ninth in the conference. I mean, even the down Michigan teams have been finishing better than that. And early in the season, it looked like that would be a disrespectful projection. And turns out it was an optimistic projection, Daniel, because they are
Right.
last place, guaranteed to be last place in the league. And I'm curious your thoughts on why they are where they are.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a myriad of issues, right? Man, especially it's kind of been brewing, right? It's for a couple of years now. You don't fare well in the transfer portal. You have different issues with coaches' health, like preparation leading up to the season. You have guys transfer and go to other schools. Just a myriad of issues that some you probably should have been prepared for, and some they weren't prepared for, right? And it's led up to this point. And it's one of those issues where it's it's hard to see a path forward without major changes, right? Whether you want to change the coach or you want to change the resources you have available to them, there's going to be some hard questions that have to be asked and answered at the end of the season. I think all the leadership within the athletic department are going to have to make some tough decisions.
Yeah, I've been saying, and much to the chagrin of the people who I'm saying it to, folks out there, I don't think the decision has been made to move on from Juwan. I know that the decision for a lot of fans that how could it not be made?
Right.
And given the results, I'm not saying I don't understand that. I'm just telling you, with my ear to the ground, what I'm hearing is that decision has not been made. As a matter of fact, I think it's more likely than not that he gets another year, given some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Conditions.
Yeah.
Given some conditions. Here, when Warde did he's done a couple of press conferences. Warde Manuel, athletic director at University of Michigan, who has his own audience of critics, obviously.
Yeah.
He did his press conference a couple of months ago now for Sharon's introductory press conference. He talked a little bit about Juwan then, and then subsequent to that, there was the NIL executive GM announcement where he talked further about it. He said, I haven't given any thought to moving on from him. He said, I haven't made any decision. I haven't thought about that at this time. He kept qualifying, saying at this time, as if to say, look, I evaluate the season and I talk to the coaches at the end of the season. I'm going to make a decision on what I do about the future moving forward. But the fact that he said he had given no thought to moving on at that point in time. And they were obviously really bad at that point. I think the way this is going to play out, and these are not totally parallel scenarios, but if what is past is prologue here, the way that it would break down is he's going to sit down with Juwan at the end of the season, the way he sat down with Jim Harbaugh at the end of 2020. And while we can say, and we know that Jim had proven himself as a winner at San Diego and a winner at Stanford and a winner at San Francisco and a winner at Michigan for that matter, with the team that he took over from Brady Hoke, he had all that track record of winning before he got here, which is different from Juwan. I know that, but the experience with Warde is very similar in that, hey, you had some success out the gate. You had a down season. Your extenuating circumstance was COVID. Because, I mean, yeah, Jim, they had gotten blown up by Ohio State a couple of years before. But COVID was different. I mean, COVID, they were terrible.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was way different than even the 2 seasons before where you were losing ground to Ohio State. Right? So this was on a different level. Juwan's extenuating circumstance is the heart condition. You had the issue where you were away from the team even before he was away from with the surgery,
Yep.
September 14th, he was away from the team. That like the assistants were coaching a lot of the team before that. So the absence from the team was really months long. So that's your extenuating circumstance. Let's talk about what you see the issues as being. If I say to you, I grant you that this was an exceptional set of circumstances that cast the season in a poor light to start. Now you get in the season and things are not going right. Like there are things within your control that
Yep.
aren't going right now. Why didn't they go right? And what are you going to do to fix them? I think that's the conversation at the end of the season. Now, if he gave some unsatisfactory answers, and we can get into what that back and forth might be like, Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the stage that has been set. That's what it's gonna look like at this point after the season. We sit down, okay, yeah, you had the heart condition, you were away from the team, you weren't able to shape some things at the beginning of the year, but now you've been with the team and you're in last place for the first time in forever.
Right.
Why? And what are you
50
gonna do to fix
years. You know, it's one of those things where you have to, those questions have to be asked, and Juwan has to give, satisfactory answers. And if I'm Juwan, I'm asking, I have questions of the university as well. Like, what type of resources will I have to rebuild this team and rebuild this program? You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna, if I'm gonna be a 1 year lame duck coach, then everything's going to be limited. So it's probably best that both parties move on from each other. If it's only going to be, hey, I'm only going to give you 1 year to fix this. No, we have to have a plan in place to where we rebuild this program. And if Warde sees Juwan as the guy to do that, then I say move forward and give him the resources needed. If not, like I've said before about whether it's a strength and conditioning coach or whether it's a offensive line coach, Michigan has the resources to go out and go and get a first class coach, right? But I think that with Juwan's situation, given the circumstance he's been through, I think you have those conversations. So you at least explore giving him the opportunity to fix it.
Yeah,
But
I
there have to be things in place. Like you said, you can see both sides of the coin with the record, with finishing last place. You can see both sides of the argument, right? Especially at this point when you lay everything out on both sides of the table. But I think, you know, either way, I think if you decide to give him time, you have to give him the resources as well.